Hey guys, welcome to another morning motivation. There are a lot of us who probably haven't gone out as much, especially since the pandemic has started. And not only that, but things may seem very ordinary. You haven't gone to the places that you're usually used to going to. You haven't maybe hung out with your circle of friends the way that you have also been used to, and for a lot of us, it's really just going, getting the essentials, and coming right back. You may have more of a social life on social media now than you have when you were just like doing the ordinary pre COVID 19. I want to give you three examples of how you can find inspiration or even motivation in the ordinary. I think that it's important that we just look at the daily things, look at the things that we typically do that we may not necessarily think is where you would find gems, or you'd find some of the great inspirational thoughts, or maybe even object lessons that can carry you through the day. So here's the first one. So since COVID 19, I've been eating more eggs than usual, really for protein. So I usually have like a protein shake, but haven't been to GNC in quite some time. And those of you that know those GNC, those tubs, it's like $80. Those things aren't cheap. So I've compensated, and I've eaten a lot of eggs. Now, here's the thing, though. Because of eating it so much and being so consistent, I don't know if y'all know, but and I don't know if it's a West Indian thing, or if it's just something that people normally do. But like the small, I don't know what is it, like we call it the eye, but it's the white part of the egg. I guess that's like the fetus part, where you like take out. I used to take that out with like a fork every single day, and sometimes I just didn't care at all. But then eventually, it just clicked a couple days ago, or I think it was like last week. Why don't you just use a strainer? It'll take out all of the things that you've been trying to like scoop out. And actually, it was actually a process, because before it was actually doing it in a bowl before mixing, and then I do it in the actual skillet. Felt a little bit easier, like there's more coagulants when kind of like scooping it out when the eggs started heating up. It was very interesting. And then I went from there to actually using the strainer. And one of the object lessons there is simply, if you do something long enough, the innovation or the ways of looking at something differently will appear. That's just reality. I think that if we choose to be consistent enough with doing something, even if it's cooking breakfast, right? Even if it's cooking the same thing, oh my goodness, cooking the same thing for a long time, you start to find new ways of preparing the same meal. So that's the first one. The second one is having got outside. Uh, there's usually in the backyard. If you sit still enough, well, if I sit still enough, you actually see in the backyard there are particular butterflies, like these brown butterflies that will. Um, and I think they come at the same time every day. I haven't been out there every day, but you see these particular butterflies that'll fly over the hedge into the grass, do what they do. I'm guessing they're pollinating. I'm not sure. And then they'll fly back over, and then they'll fly back over into our, yard, and they'll keep doing that over and over again. And not only that, but then later on in the evening, we have a telephone pole behind the house. You'll have these birds that come at the same exact time almost every single day and just fill up the telephone pole. It's crazy. They have a time. They have a clock that they are on. And one of the things that I have really begun to realize is that nature is more cyclical than we think. Not just the sun, moon, and stars, and how we change the time backwards so we can get more time. No, but actual birds and butterflies, and even the grass, right? Seasonally, it'll die and then it'll grow back. And so if we though are still enough, we will get to see those changes. We will get to see what they're actually doing. And quite frankly, they're probably more consistent than we are oftentimes, because for them, a large part of that consistency deals with survival. I mean, a lot we have, let's be real, we have some options. I mean, for many of us, it's not be consistent or die. It's really be consistent or be inconvenienced. So seeing how nature itself, if I like go outside and wait, you will see perhaps maybe even the same creature. It's interesting that'll show up on your front yard or wherever you are. So that's another one. Um, and the third one just escaped my mind. Wow, I had it. It's gone. So just take those two. Take this idea that if you do something long enough, you'll start to innovate with the same thing, right? For me, it was like just cooking breakfast, the same thing, right? You start to figure out how you can, change things up. And then also just nature. Nature itself is very cyclical in how they behave and what they do. And quite frankly, that's probably why a lot of our stuff has been pollinated or how why they grow. It's because they have their own schedule, so to speak. They keep a schedule as well. And so, yeah, guys, I just hope that you take that today. I mean, it's Wednesday, it's the top of the week. Think about it being you rolling down. And oh, here's the last one. Here's the last one. It came to me: breathing. Yesterday, I hit 67 burpees. Today it was 68. And the reason why I was able to do it so easily now, or not easily, but a little bit more comfortably, is because I found a pattern of breathing that's going to help me to really hit 70 by the end of the week. So when I hit 30, it was rough. 40, rough. 50, oh my gosh. But then I started to realize by doing it more and more, and I guess maybe the theme here is consistency, in the ordinary, I started to create a pattern of breathing that actually works. Interesting. Very interesting. So with this pattern of breathing, it actually helps me to sustain a little bit longer. And actually, I didn't even rush into it today. It's kind of like a freight train, just kind of building the momentum. So that's the other thing as well, where just in the ordinary of me breathing, just breathing at the right times helped me to continue to hit. I'm about to hit the 70 mark this week, guys. I'm gonna crush it. That's facts. That's what I'm knowing that I'm gonna do. But listen, from cooking eggs, from watching butterflies from in the backyard, to being aware of my breathing technique. And I didn't even create it. I didn't even try to do it on purpose. It was just something that, as if my body was like, okay, we need to figure this out, because if we don't, you are not going to sustain yourself. All right. So anyway, guys, yeah, take it or leave it. I'm hoping that you take it. Top of the week. Let's roll down into Friday. When I say roll down, I don't mean just be relaxed. I should say run down the hill. We're at the top of it. And I think that we can make it, guys. We will make it. Not even I think, I know that we will. So I'll see you guys in the next morning motivation.